someone who wanted to rent an arrangement for a party. So we're going to work on that. When you come on, please tell me hello. Tell me how you're doing. Tell us where you're from. If you are watching right this very second over on Facebook and you don't see the little live button up there in the corner, you're probably watching the replay. Please put hashtag replay in the comments. So we are live on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This is one of my favorite times of the week when I have Victoria here and we are able to go live on all the platforms. It's so much fun because it's interesting at how the different platforms bring different questions, and it's just exciting. It's just kind of fun. So we are going to work on a faux arrangement. I had a customer give me a call and she sent me a picture of kind of what she had in mind. So she just wants a mounded arrangement to sit on top of a gold stand. So this is one of the gold stands. It's just a square stand. I believe it stands up about 24 inches or so. And so this arrangement's just going to sit right on top. We are going to do it on just a piece of foam that we have used before. We've used it several times. The wonderful thing about working with faux flowers is you can reuse your mechanics because this is just hard styrofoam. Thank you, Callie. This is just hard styrofoam that I have taken and put on just a piece of wood. We've taped it in place. It's going to sit right on top of this stand. So it's pretty sturdy, and I am just going to do a mounded arrangement. Now her vision was baby's breath and hydrangeas, white and blue hydrangeas, and then some mini green hydrangeas. I don't have mini greens, but I do have snowball viburnum, or the little green viburnum, and then we have some faux baby's breath. I did order fresh baby's breath, but I think the faux is going to work, so I'm excited to try to see how that works. And then I do have fresh eucalyptus. I am going to show you how the eucalyptus looks. I will actually pull that out, drop it in water, and reinsert it when she comes to pick it up tomorrow. But we're going to get started on this arrangement. I do have my steamer here because there is nothing worse than your faux flowers being all flat. So I'm going to show you how we steam our flowers. I am going to move these flowers and put them on the floor, and then we will get started. So this is our faux baby's breath, and I want to show you the faux versus the fresh. So this is faux, this is fresh. So it's interesting that it's not a whole lot different, really. Of course, I can tell the difference very much, but I think this really works. So I'm going to take that. That's going to go in last. So I'm going to drop that here.
On YouTube, Tangela says, "Hey, Shug, how are you doing today? We love you in Georgia."
Oh, thank you, sweet friend. I am doing wonderful. How about you?
Tracy says it's beautiful already. And Miss Linda Sue says, "Good afternoon from Arkansas."
Hello, hello, sweet friend. Hello. Okay, so here are our white hydrangeas, green viburnum, pale pink roses, some baby's breath. We're going to start with our blue hydrangeas first. Actually, yeah. We'll start with I'm just dropping them in the floor. We'll start with our blue hydrangeas first. And one of them came loose.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, "Mommy, Miss Julie messaged me today, or messaged me to say her husband, Mr. Ronnie, is admitted to the ICU. Looking for prayers, please."
Thank you, Miss Margaret, for letting me know that. I am so sorry to hear it. Thank you, thank you. We will certainly pray.
Miss Judy Roeder says, "So happy to see you live today from Cloudy, Indiana."
Hello,
Happy
sweet
Easter.
friend. Hello, hello.
You have lots more hellos today.
I'm so glad you are all here, guys. Thank y'all for watching.
Oh, Miss Julie says, "I just popped in to say
Oh, hey, Miss Julie. I'm so sorry to hear about your sweet husband. We will certainly pray.
thank you." Miss Brenda says, "The baby's breath looks almost the same."
Isn't that interesting? It's interesting. I'll show it to you again. Hey, Callie.
Tammy Lewis on TikTok says, "Hello, friend."
Hello, hello. How are you? Hey, Callie. Hey, will she grab the pick machine for me?
Maria says, I've had a good day cooking. Lovely lasagna and a Dorset apple cake.
How yummy does that sound? That sounds wonderful.
Amy says, back for my second live event and so excited to be here.
Hello, sweet friend. Thank you, Callie. I was thinking that I would use these hydrangea greenery. So these stems I am just taking, so anytime I use faux flowers, I like to leave as much stem on the flowers as I possibly can. So I'm trying to leave them a little longer, just because I would like to be able to insert them in other things. And I did pull off some of the leaves. So I am going to take my pick machine. I had somebody ask about a pick machine the other day. And I told them I do not use my pick machine nearly as much as some people do. The pick machine, when I first started in the business, so this is called a steel pick machine. It is a heavy piece of equipment, and it will cut you. When I first started in floral design, we would use the pick machine every time we made silk flowers. Like when I was doing, if you watched our live yesterday over on Facebook, I worked on a stone topper. And we used to take and use the pick machine for every piece that we put in a stone topper. Now, I don't do that as much anymore. I'll use this every once in a while, but I would say if I were opening a flower shop, a pick machine would be the last thing that I would purchase. It's fairly expensive, like a couple $100, and it's just not used nearly as much as a couple $100 requires to me. Why I'm going to use it today is I do have these hydrangea leaves. They were on the very bottom of a stem, and I knew that they would be in the way if I tried to insert those stems into this arrangement. I'm going to take these leaves. So a pick machine, it comes with, you would get a sleeve of picks. It doesn't come with it. You buy them separately, and they slide right down into this contraption. You feed it and then put your stem right down in, and then you're gonna pinch, you're gonna tighten this little pick right down onto this leaf. Now, when I tell you they'll cut, this is made of steel, and it's serrated edges, and it will cut just like a knife. So you always want to kind of be careful. You don't want to run your fingers right down that pick because it bites. But this is what I do with little short pieces, and it's going to help me cover some of this foam.
On TikTok, eJackson1155 says, hello from Charleston, South Carolina.
Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
And Susan says, hi dear, I'm new here.
Hello, welcome. We are so glad you're here. See that one I just threw off. Oh, I am so not handy today. I'm a mess. Thank you. I'm going to take a few more of these leaves off of some of these hydrangeas and go ahead and pick those. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to cover up some of this foam. It's not pretty, and so we want to kind of camouflage it. So I'm just taking, you can see I'm just pulling off some of those leaves from those hydrangeas.
Miss Violet wants to know how your mama is today.
My mama is doing fantastic, Miss Violet. Thank you for asking. So, you all know that my mama is battling cancer. And so she has decided, and we haven't been back to the doctor, so we don't know. But at this moment, she has decided she's not doing chemo right now. And so she's feeling wonderful physically, and she feels wonderful mentally, and she's just positive and upbeat and happy. We actually went last night to church, and we had the Seder meal, which is a Passover meal at church, and it was such a wonderful time. And she's just beautiful and happy. And it's so nice. But thank you for asking about her. Thank you.
Rhea says, and I have the added bonus of a burn on my arm from the oven shelf for my collection.
Don't you love it? Bless your heart. I am so sorry, Rhea.
Miss Debbie says, hello, she broke her wrist this morning.
Oh my goodness, Debbie. Are you going to have surgery? Are you okay?
Larry Wells over on YouTube says it's the first live I've caught in a long time.
Wow, so glad you're here. Thank you for watching.
Oh, Miss Susan over on TikTok, that's new. She says she's in the UK.
Hello, sweet friend. Thank you for being here. So I'm taking some of the leaves that are low on these flowers, and I'm just taking those. I'm laying it right here in this pick machine, and then you push back, and it just grips that leaf. And so I'm just pressing them because they have very tender leaves. They're not going to just pierce right down into that foam without some type of pick. Okay, so you can see how these leaves almost kind of look like magnolia leaves, don't they? These hydrangea leaves are going to help to cover some of that foam, right? Okay, and that's just an easier way, a free way, because it was already on my flowers. It's a free way to add greenery without having to use another bush or another something. You're just using the greenery that was already on the stems. Now, if you don't have a pick machine, and I am not telling you to go out and buy one because I feel like that's kind of silly, just for the fact that I don't use it very much. Now, some people might use it much more often than I do. You can absolutely use wood picks, just wire in tape those leaves right to a pick and tuck them in just the same way. So it works the same way. All right, next we are going to come in. Actually, I'm going to grab the white hydrangeas. They're all fairly short. So I've just got some white stems of hydrangeas.
Kathy says those picks will cut your hands up.
They will cut you, won't they? I always try to say, be careful with a pick machine because it bites. They bite. Okay, so this one has a couple of leaves that are low, so I'm just going to remove those leaves. They can be done the exact same way. Go ahead, put a little pick on them, tuck those in. That's just giving us a really good base for our flowers. This is going to be very mounded and very almost a wad, if that's not a pretty word, but that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to take my white hydrangeas and just start going into my foam.
Rhea says, if I don't burn myself, I'm not trying.
But they leave scars so bad, don't they?
Yes.
When we burn our arms and our hands.
Miss Julie Patsias says, or asks, did your mama enjoy her flowers?
Well, okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. So, I was getting ready to get those to take out to Mama. I'm going to have to make her a new arrangement because I had to sell the Easter lily, and then Callie needed the hot pink roses and the orange Gerber daisies for another arrangement, so Mama's getting something different. So I told her, I said, well, Mama, I made you this beautiful arrangement, but then I sold it. And Mama said, that's okay, baby. So, yeah, I sold that one. So she's getting a fresh one.
Miss Sarah Kate McClellan says, hey, what floral spray paint do you like to use on fresh hydrangeas? I'm looking to make them pink.
I love, why did my mind just so go blank? Design Master, and it's, it's more of a tint. I'll have to go grab it. It's back there. But it's by Design Master, and let me tell you where to purchase it. LO Florist Supply. I'll go grab it. I want to say it's Petunia Pink. And, but it's by Design Master. I'll go grab it in just a minute. But the Petunia Pink is a perfect light pink. We also got in Bougainvillea Pink, which is a beautiful bush. If you've never seen a Bougainvillea, they grow beautiful in Florida. Anyway, the Bougainvillea Pink is a hot pink, but I really like the Petunia. But I'll go grab it in just a minute. So So I'm just taking these blooms and we're just kind of making a mounded arrangement, okay? We're just going to make kind of a mound, and we're just going to continue to fill in until we get as many flowers in it as we want. And you can see how, look at how those leaves of those hydrangeas that I picked in help to cover that bright green foam, so you don't see it as well. We just kind of needed it to camouflage. Next, oh, I have some more white ones. I usually have some of that spray paint right here, and I could put my eyes on it, but we don't have any back here. I see Rust-Oleum. Okay, the blue hydrangeas are going to go next. You'll just continue to add the flowers until you're happy.
Kim Daniels says she got her pick machine from Sam's Club.
Did you? How much was it? Was it extremely expensive?
Miss Julie says, I bought my pick machine on Facebook Marketplace for $65 just 10 minutes from my house.
Well, that was a wonderful price. I think if you get them from like the local craft store, they're maybe a couple $100 now. They're expensive. Now, do you guys use your pick machine a lot? Do y'all use it a lot?
Pretty Petals Floral Design says, sorry I missed what you're working on. What is this going to be?
This is going to be, it's just a mounded arrangement, and it's going to go on top of a gold stand for a party. And they're just renting this arrangement. I'm going to have to glue this hydrangea because it came apart and it won't stay together, so I'm going to set that one to the side. So we have begun to make artificial arrangements and rent them for different occasions. And so that's exactly, so there's our blue and our white hydrangeas. And you can see it's very simple. It's just going to be just a mounded arrangement. But I have found that these are all flowers I had on hand. I did not purchase any flowers. These are all just flowers we had on hand that we've rented before. And so I find that it's just when you have them on hand and you're able just to rent out of your inventory, it's pretty much profit, because when I've rented them before, I purchased them for an event or what have you. So it works out really nice. So these are, this is green viburnum. It's just like a viburnum stem or snowball bush. Just taking and tucking a little bit of that throughout. And those stems are tough.
Oh, is it just for flowers?
Just for flowers, flower
Really
paint. Why wouldn't that come to us?
Thanks, Rio.
Rio's like, let me just tell y'all what this is. Why does it come? Why? When you hit my age, do you lose words?
DNL Flora says we call those types of arrangements roundy moundy.
Roundy moundy, yes, we do. Or I can remember being in school and our professor calling it a southern wad. Just a wadded arrangement, right?
Melissa Jean says, hello ladies, I'm so glad your mom is better and okay. What good news. I wasn't so lucky. I lost my dad Tuesday night. It's not easy to manage all that when you also have a business to run. My dad wouldn't have wanted me to give up.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry.
Gray is sad to inform us that there's been another shooting in Florida today. He says, I don't know what this world's coming to.
I'm telling you, Gray, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Maria says, I painted my nails different pastel colors for Easter. They look like sugared almonds.
I bet they're beautiful. I bet they're so pretty. All right, so we just about, I've got to put that brush to the side.
Maria says, faux hydrangeas always look good.
I agree. I like This is a tough stem, y'all. I like a faux hydrangea. Now, every once in a while you can get them where they look a little wonky.
Pretty Petals Floral Design says we have 2 pick machines and one of my girls prefers to use it, even though we get frustrated with it needing to be adjusted. But I now prefer hot glue. We have rental inventory as well.
Do you? Well, tell us about your rental inventory. How do you do it? Do you make arrangements? How do you rent them? I'd love to know. I need help with that. These are some pretty pink bushes. I actually just got these roses yesterday. We ordered these from Direct Floral, and they were really a very good price. Like, I think the cost on them was like $6.96, and there are 9 stems, and they're really, really pretty. Now, they were a little more pink than I wanted them to be, so I grabbed the white Design Master paint, and I popped it with a little bit of white just to kind of soften that pink. But I am very, very pleased with this pink rose. And they have all the colors. I think if you watched me design yesterday, I designed with some of the red ones of this variety. But I also got in yellow, which were so, so pretty. But I'm just taking my wire snips. I'm just cutting those stems off. And I'm just going to press them right down into this foam. Now, again, the foam that I'm using, this is probably my 3rd or 4th time to use this floral foam. This is just hard styrofoam. It's the same foam I used yesterday that I just took a piece of it and I just taped it right down to this piece of wood.
Miss Julie Cassius says, I don't use the pick machine often, but it's nice to have it when I do need it.
I agree.
Miss Mary Lou wants to know how we're doing today.
We are great, Miss Mary Lou. How are you today? I like that this bush has some larger blooms and some smaller blooms.
Oh, Miss Dorothy says, I've been watching and I thought this was a replay. I looked up and saw the red live button.
You saw that little live button up there in that corner. So I'm just taking, these came on bushes. So I'm just taking and cutting them apart. Now, what we do after a rental is when we get the flowers back, we will take the arrangements apart. And we have like tubs of different colors. So like we might drop these pink roses down in a pink box where it has all the different pinks. All the white hydrangeas go in a big white tub. Actually, it's sitting right here because I was afraid I might need some more white hydrangeas. But we have found that that's the easiest way to kind of store them, is just kind of light colors together.
Oriole Beagle, thank you for the $2 gift over on YouTube.
Thank you, friend. So glad you're here.
Miss Glenda Vickers asks, what is this arrangement for? I must have missed you saying it.
It is for an engagement party. They actually ordered a small arrangement of fresh pink roses, and then they wanted this arrangement. They were just going to rent this arrangement to go on a stand on a food table. And so we made the smaller arrangement just in all pink roses with some baby's breath, and so we're going to kind of match this. She loves hydrangeas, so of course that was easy to do. So we're matching this pulling the pink roses with some baby's breath. Now this is faux baby's breath that I'm going to work throughout. I did purchase fresh because I wasn't real sure about our faux, but I think the faux is going to look fine. So and the reason I thought it would be better to use the faux is it's not going to die. I can pull it out and reuse it, right? Now often when I make a artificial arrangement, I prefer to use some fresh greenery, and I've even used, like last weekend, I did a wedding that was artificial, and I used thistle tucked in. But I think it will be absolutely fine to tuck in this little pots of this baby's breath, and I think I have plenty to tuck all the way through.
Gray asks, how much do you charge to rent that? It is beautiful.
So this is actually a friend, so I kind of gave her a deal. I would probably rent this for about $150. This one I'm doing for $100. But she also ordered the fresh roses too. And so, but all of the flowers, I didn't purchase anything. All of it I had on hand. So I think that makes a huge difference too.
Pretty Petals Floral Design says we have 3 rental bridal collections that have been very successful, and we've just recently started to expand our rental services. We're just winging it, LOL, but it seems to be very helpful for some customers, especially corporate clients or nonprofits. Interested in your pricing techniques? Maybe we can DM.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Do you have a website where you offer those packages? Or when someone inquires, you just give them your packages? Because I think that's where my problem lies, is I don't know what to charge. You know, I just kind of, I don't charge. That's my thing, is I'm kind of lost on that part.
Miss Judy says a eucalyptus would look good in this.
Yes, and I do have fresh eucalyptus. I'm going to tuck some in so you can see the fresh eucalyptus in it. I will pull it back out. I'm going to steam it real quick before we put our fresh eucalyptus in it.
Miss Janine Marshall says, hi Monty and Victoria from the UK. I know I'm late. I really love the floral arrangement.
Ah, thank you, thank you. So it's really just, y'all are hearing the steamer. It's boiling over here. What, did it scare you?
No, I don't like this wasp.
Oh, is he bothering you? He's not going to get you, sis. He's gone. We've got a wasp flying around. Victoria's over here scared to death. He doesn't want you, Victoria. Well, that didn't sound very nice. He doesn't like you, Victoria.
That's good.
All right, so I have got, that is very loud. I apologize. It is loud. So I have really just made a very mounded arrangement using white hydrangeas, blue hydrangeas, green viburnum, did we go dark? Pink roses, and faux baby's breath. Everything in this arrangement is artificial. So you can see it's just kind of a very mounded arrangement. Now what I'm doing is I got my steamer going. It's going to take just a second and it's going to puff out some steam. So what I like to do when using faux flowers, especially my white hydrangeas, they're looking a little like they were stuck in a box, where they actually were stuck in a box, right? And so I'm going to take my little steamer and kind of fluff these flowers, if I can get it to steam for me.
Pretty Petals Floral Design says we are working on adding those to our website. I think industry standard is to charge the cost, but it does take time to structure a rental business.
And that's really what I think I've struggled with some, is just figuring out how to fairly price the faux flowers. And right now, because I don't have tons, I have just been taking, so this is just a clothing steamer. I don't know if you can even see the steam going up, but I am just going to take this steamer and I am going to steam the little white hydrangeas. And what it's going to do is just kind of breathe life right over into those hydrangeas.
Ria says, I've been invited onto a live stream with a YouTube channel in the next few weeks. It's quite nerve-wracking, but Mark said I should just be myself and I can't go wrong.
Well, girl, you should just be yourself. Absolutely. Mark is exactly right. You be you, and they're going to love you, sis.
Malu, thank you for sharing our live video on TikTok.
I'm standing over here off the camera. I'm sorry, y'all.
Mila says it's beautiful, and One Day Flowers asks, are those real?
They are faux. All the flowers in this arrangement are artificial. And so we have started doing artificial arrangements and renting them. And so that's what this is it's a rental for this weekend.
Susan Campbell says, this is so pretty and springy, I can almost hear the birds singing. Max over on YouTube says, first live watching from Utah. Where do you purchase most of your silk flowers, and do you use a special knife to cut the hard foam?
So I don't. I just score the hard foam and pop it usually. For my silk flowers, I buy them here and there. I don't really have one specific place where I order all my silk flowers. I have bought them from a company called Direct Floral. I've bought them from a company called TMI. I've bought them from, where else, Victoria? David Christopher's. We've bought them online. I've bought some from Shein. I've bought some from Amazon. So just kind of here and there.
One Day Flowers on TikTok says, oh wow, I thought they were real.
They are pretty. They really are pretty. So I've really kind of copied a picture that I was given. She just texted me a picture and said, we really like this look. And so that's kind of what I've copied. So I just took a clothing steamer. My white hydrangeas were a little squashed. So I took a clothing steamer and I just kind of steamed those white hydrangeas. And really what it does is it just brings them back to life. It's absolutely amazing. Guys, thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up over on Facebook. Thank you, thank you. If you guys would do me a favor on all of the platforms, if you are enjoying this video and feel like you are getting something out of it, please hit that heart or that thumbs up. What that does is it is a free and simple way to support our little flower shop. And hit that share button. Share this video with your friends. And if you haven't checked us out on all the other platforms, please go do that. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We'd love to have you check us out on all of those different platforms. Okay, to finish this arrangement, now let me show you. It is going to sit on top of this gold stand. I'm going to lift it up. And it's going to sit right up on top of a stand, just like that. Now you can see the edges here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fresh eucalyptus and I'm just going to tuck this in to show you what it's going to look like, but I will pull it out until tomorrow, and then we will tuck it back in. But we're just going to tuck. And this is where your pick machine would work too. You can absolutely take that pick machine.
Miss Margaret Lynch asks, how is the quality of the faux baby's breath?
It's really not bad at all. I am not exactly sure where that baby's breath came from. We've had it for a little while, so I can't remember where it came from, but it's really fine. Honestly, it's easier than fresh.
Erlina Cortez over on Facebook says, hello, beautiful arrangement.
Thank you.
Good idea to rent. Your rental charge is very reasonable. Even though you have the materials at hand, you still need to price a good rate. You are very generous and do not feel bad about charging a fair price.
Thank you, thank you.
Robin says, beautiful, I've been gone for a while and so excited to be back and caught you live.
So glad you're here, friend. So glad you're here. And so what I will do is I'm just going to come all the way around the arrangement and, of course, add some pretty eucalyptus in.
Loving Creations Floral says, I'm starting to rent arrangements as well. I would love to chat to some of you about rental pricing arrangements.
Oh, we would love that. I think we ought to get together and have a conversation.
She says maybe we could get a group chat going.
That would be fantastic.
On YouTube, Charlene Newberg says, hello all. I love how you add fresh greens to your silks. They're always beautiful. I'm a wedding florist, so I always learn and enjoy all the knowledge you share.
Oh, thank you, friend. So glad you're here.
Miss Valerie McDonald says, this is so beautiful. Hydrangeas are one of my favorite flowers. Stargazer lilies are my other favorite.
Oh, they smell so lovely, don't they? The stargazers. Hydrangeas not necessarily, but the stargazers smell so pretty.
James Underwood Hill says, happy Thursday, my friend. I love those colors together. Very vibrant.
Thank you, thank you. I'm going to turn this around. I've added some of the eucalyptus on this side so that you can kind of see what it's going to look like when we get it finished. And there is some of that pretty eucalyptus kind of dripping down. And we will continue to add it until we're happy. I do like the pretty eucalyptus tucked in. I just think it really breathes some life in there. I have yet to really find greenery that I've just been pleased with. And it's hard to, when you find it, it's expensive. And it takes a lot, I find, to fill up an arrangement as much as I want to. So I find it's just as easy and as inexpensive to just buy artificial, to buy fresh and tuck fresh in versus buying tons and tons of artificial. But if y'all have got a place that has really pretty artificial greenery, I would love your source. And there it is, just as simple and pretty.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, definitely the fresh greenery is beautiful.
Thank you.
Miss Valerie asks, what are you making this for? Is it for a wedding?
It's actually for an engagement party. A friend of mine, her daughter is getting married or getting engaged this weekend, and they were going to host an engagement party, and they wanted a lovely arrangement. And so I explained to her that I had these rentals and I would be happy to make an arrangement to rent, and she was thrilled with that. And so that's what this is for. She actually sent me an inspiration photo, and so that's what this is for.
Miss Brittany says, question, do you always take payments ahead of time?
Yes, most of the time I do, yes. It really just depends. I mean, every once in a while I might not. With this being artificial, none of this, except the greenery, and I'm going to pull it out. I put the greenery in for you guys so that you could see the finished product. All of this I had on hand. This is all just rental. She's going to pay me, rent it, and bring it back. So it's not like I have any money in this arrangement. All of these flowers have been rented before, so they're all paid for. So that's the one thing I really like about rentals, is I feel like it's very, eco-friendly. You are not throwing things away. We're not tossing things. Not that I don't absolutely love fresh flowers, and I will always do fresh flowers, but I really like the fact that faux flowers are very, very eco-friendly, in my opinion. Not so much waste.
Mila says, I love it over on TikTok.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Valerie McDonald says, so glad to see you ladies again. Happy blessed Easter. Unfortunately, I've not seen your lives in a while, and I don't know why.
I tell you what to do. Is she over on Facebook? I want you to go to our page, to the very front of our page. If you'll look up in the right corner, there's going to be 3 little dots. Click on those dots and it'll be a drop down it's a drop down menu, and it's going to say would you like notifications, and you can click get notifications and it'll give you a notification for when we go live.
Miss Dawn Miller says, I loved Mr. Todd's video today.
Thank you. That was actually, I took that video yesterday. He's gotten so funny. He wants to walk in the mornings and in the evenings. As long as we don't put a leash on him, he is a happy camper to go walking. He doesn't like a leash. So we usually go early in the morning when there's nobody out, and we go about 8:30 in the evening when there's nobody out. So he is just happy as can be, Miss Dawn. He's so funny. He needs to lose some weight, so we're working on diets.
Larry Wells says, I love it.
Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
Fred on TikTok says, sustainable and repurposed.
Absolutely, yes.
I haven't seen any more questions. They're saying it's beautiful.
Guys, thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. Thank you for all the questions, and again, if you guys want to, we need to get together and talk about rentals and how you do it, because I really need to know. I'm really wanting to work on building that part of our business. I think it would be a wonderful thing for us. I appreciate you all being here so very much. I will do a video first thing in the morning. If you have not caught our Easter devotions, this is right in my face. If you have not caught our Easter devotions and you want to go back and watch those, we have done over 40 days of devotions for Easter. It's over on Facebook. You can go back and watch those devotions. They've been wonderful. I have so enjoyed spending that time with you guys. And then we will do a live video tomorrow afternoon over on Facebook in the 3 o'clock hour. So y'all come back to see us. I hope you have a